Good morning, everyone. Morning, kids. I'm so sorry that we can't be actually in the church together, but this is the next best thing. We're going to do something now that we were going to do in the church. So are you ready for a game? You're going to need your memories because I'm going to show you some things that are very dear to me, that remind me of things, but I'm not going to say a word. I'm going to do it really quietly and really quickly. So are you ready? Are you watching? Because here they come. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, tiny one, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, that was 10 things. I'm going to give you 10 seconds now to see how many of those 10 things you can remember. Now, if you're quick, mummy or daddy or any of the adults can join in as well. Just type them in the comments as you're watching this, and I'm just going to count to 10. Are you ready? You've got time to start now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How many did you get? Did you remember them all? I doubt it. It's really difficult because these aren't significant to you. The things that I've shown you, they don't mean anything. Let me just explain them very quickly, why they're special to me, and see if it makes a difference to how many things you remember next time. So I showed you Elmer Elephant. Now, he's one of my favourite characters, and as the children were growing up, he was definitely a favourite toy. This is a dry spaghetti measurer. Now, it's a really odd thing, but I use it every week, and you put the dry spaghetti in the hole. So if you've got a family of 4, you put it in this one. If you're just one, you in this one. But it was given to me by my next door neighbour, and she's moved away. And this is the one of the things that she's left, and she brought it back as a present many years ago when we looked after her budgie. And it's so special because I don't know if I'm ever going to see her again because she's quite old and she's moved away. This photo, this is a very special photo because this is our family. This is all our 4 children and their other halves, and this was the last time that we were all together. Nat's in Canada at the moment, so I doubt we're going to be all together for a bit. Now, these tiny little ones, these are very special. These are pearls, and these were given to me by John, my husband, for my pearl wedding anniversary, and we bought them in Crete, which is where we had our honeymoon. So they are very, very special. This has got a huge memory for me because this is a piece of Thailand fabric. It's a skirt that was given to me by the team when we went out to Thailand last year. And every time I see it and I look at it, I remember all the amazing things we did in Thailand. This one is much older and very, very special. This was a blanket that was knitted by my grandma for our children. And this reminds me of our grandma. And I'm just wondering if I'm going to wrap our new grandchild, in it when we have the news in January of whether it's a girl or a boy and what it's like. We went on a holiday and we went to Legoland. So we brought back a photo album. And when we look at the photos, we remember our holiday. This one is for today, isn't it? This is a little poppy bracelet. Now I've got my poppy on. If you're wearing your poppies, have you made poppies? Have you done poppies at school? And the poppy is the thing that we are reminding today of because it is Remembrance Day, and we're remembering all those wonderful people who gave their lives for us, really. They fought in the wars, and we are just here to say thank you and to remember them because we wouldn't be here without them. And this is a special one I bought a few years ago, and it goes on my wrist. And so it's really good if I haven't got one that's here. And I've got this, my bread and wine, and I'm going to need that later. I hope you've got some ready because we're going to need it later. And finally, I've got this little cross that's on a key ring. It was given to me by a friend, but this is a very special memory because this points me back to Jesus. Whenever I'm doing anything, whatever I'm doing, I just think, do you know, I need to remember Jesus. Now, I'm going to give you those 10 seconds again. Do you think you can remember any more of the things? Now that I've explained them and told you a little bit of story behind them, are you ready? Steady, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There. Did it make a difference? Did you remember more things? You see, I think lots of the things that are around us are things that trigger our memory. The one I want to think about particularly today, other than the poppy, obviously, and we will be thinking about that at the end of the service as we remember our soldiers, and we take a minute of silence towards the end of this service. But today, I just want to leave you with this thought. That Jesus said to his disciples, one of the last things he ever said to them when he was having that special meal, that Last Supper, he looked at them and he said, as they were celebrating, remembering back to Moses and the time when they were led out of Egypt and into the promised land. And do you remember they had to get away really quickly? So they had a piece of bread that was flat, and they'd had the lamb, and they'd killed the lamb, and they'd put the blood over the doorpost, and everyone in that door, in the house with the blood on the door, was kept safe. But Jesus took those two things and he said, you know, not anymore. We're not going to remember those things. We're going to remember something new. When you eat together, when you meet together and you take the bread and the wine, I want you to remember me. I want you to remember my body, and I want you to remember my blood. And it was a good instruction that he gave us as Christians as we leave. And he said, remember me. And that's what we do. And we're going to be doing that later on in the service together. So I hope you've got a little bit of bread or a bit of juice or a cracker or a little bit of wine if you want to. But we're going to take that communion together, and we are going to remember Jesus on this very special day when we're remembering all sorts of other things. Let's just pray. Jesus, we thank you that you have given us so many things that remind us of you. And we particularly thank you that every time we meet together, we can remember you through the blood that you shed for us and your body that was broken for us. And when we take our bread and our wine, we just remember you and we stop everything else. And we thank you, Jesus. Amen. Amen. I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll be looking at the comments in a minute and see how many you got. Take care. See you later. Bye.